Welcome, everyone. What a beautiful way to finish my day. Hi, Renata. I see you waving somewhere there. There you are. Rosie is there. Not O'Donnell. Did I see Carlotta? Everyone, look at Carlotta. She's just moving so we could see her. Oh, and another 1997 birthday girl. Hi, Bert. Oh, hi Anna. Thanks for staying up. Any other Europeans over here? And Missy, Ninon, I see you, even though you're called iPhone. Yeah. Hi Millie. Wow. Hi Millie. Hannibal, nice to see you. Kimaya, thanks for staying up. What's the time in London? Too late. You're on fire. Is my sound on? Let's have a look. Can you say words, Kimaya, just to make sure there's sound?
Happy birthday!
Okay, good, thank you. And there's a bunch of folk in studio, so many. I don't know if we have a studio camera. Yeah, there it is. John Chris is showing you. Everyone's saying hi. Hi, Sam. Hi, Marluz. Shalamar, Dana. Santi, you're there. Oh, Nila, I see you. And Pedro. Is Pedro there? Good on you for playing your concert the other day. I heard it was awesome. Elizabeth. Oh. Malcolm, where are you? There's Dariana. He was in the middle. There he is. Oh, hi Brenda and Joe. And everyone else. I'm not going to say everyone's name. And welcome in person. Thanks for letting me lose myself here. My name is Hector Marcel. You are at 3 Jewels. 3 Jewels is I was dreaming about 3 Jewels last night, and it was wild. We didn't start in 1996. It says established 1996. It was a lie. I remembered. I always had a question mark about it. We never started 3 Jewels in 1996. In my dream, I remember the time I met with 3 Jewels, and it was a year before I turned 30. And I turned 30 in 1996. So, 3 Jewels was here before 1996. We have to scratch out the thing at the front of the glass and put sometime before then. I think it was 1995 or late 94, one of the two. So, thank you and sorry for lying to you for all these years. Which is what happens before internet. Like, there's no way to figure out when things happen. It's like, what's your diary say? I don't know. So anyway, welcome. You're at 3 Jewels. My name's Hector Marcel. I get the great fortune to be president of the board of 3 Jewels. No idea how. Well, I do know how that happened. And I want to share a little bit about that. Today's class, I really want to share with you the blessing that it is to be able to look at your life and turn it into a stunning thing. Even while garbage happens, it can still be a stunning thing. So I want to share with you the blessing of having a meaningful life. And I would not have found it were it not for 3 Jewels. I would not have found it or experienced it were it not for my holy teacher and all the teachers that came after. But more importantly, I would not have found it if something in my mind didn't help me. And I want to share that with you. I want to celebrate your minds today, because I feel blessed and I can't give you that blessing. I want to give it to you and I can't. No one can force it on you. The blessing of seeing your life as a precious thing, even when garbage happens. So, I usually do the same old Hector thing, and I teach the same old thing. I've taught all these ancient courses called the Asian Classics Institute. I do the teacher training, got my mode of doing it, and I'm testing myself to do something different today. And I'm a little nervous because we have Earl in the space, who's like the expert linguist and debater, and I've tried to share a new text that I haven't shared with anyone before, it's in Sanskrit, and I went on Google trying to look for translations. So I'm sure I got a ton of it wrong, but you'll get the essence, because in this text, I hope that you see the opportunity in your life reflected. Because I did. Every time I read this text, and thanks to the wisdom that I learned here at 3 Joules over the last 25 years, I can see something in this text that isn't forcing itself from its page to me, but I see it black and white from my mind to the page. And I could see how the page could be interpreted many ways. So I apologize if it's a bad translation. I hope that Earl can help me. It's just that it's just the title and the author that I probably did very wrong. Okay, so apologize in advance, and I'm going to share that today. But first, I need to organize my screen so I could see you. And at the moment, you see like nothing, right? Nothing. Yeah. So here we go. Let me just try this. You should be seeing. Would like to access microphone. No. Cancel. Let's try again. Rehearsal slideshow. That's better. Can you see a little bit of the text there? And now you can see all of the text? Now you can? Yes, you can. Right? Great. And Earl, can you read that? I mean, I think it says Vidya Sutra. Is that right?
It seems a little funky. It's Vajrasyasa.
Vidyasyasa Sutra, right? So I think I got that wrong. But you'll see it. The closest word I know to Vaidya is what's the medicine that you get? Huh?
Viagra?
No, not Viagra. Not Viagra. Where you get your ghee, because it's what kind of? Yeah.
Oh wow! I was like,
Ayurveda, right? Ayurveda. Yeah. Ayurvedic. So Vaidya is the same root. Yeah, it wasn't Viagra. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's when I'm 65. I'm 55 today. I don't. That'll be the Viagra Sutra in 11 years. Hopefully. Anyway, but the image, you know the image, Earl? It's something from the Upanishads, right? The Gita. You can tell it's like almost the Gita. Anyway, so I want to let myself fail in front of others to show that it's okay. But the lines from the text, hopefully you see what I see. But I'm going to try and explain from my life experience, thank you, what I saw in this text, and hopefully share insights about how my life could have just been another failure that I'm used to having since I was young, or another problem, or another thing that defeats me, or another something. But instead, I get this upward spiral of an opportunity to transform everything. And where the hell did that come from? And I only attribute it to my teachers and these teachings. I hope you can get the essence. This is a page from that. No idea what it says, but this is the title. Can you read that, Earl? I don't know if you can. It's probably bad. I even copied the title like bad from Wikipedia. So, and then I'm sure it changed. Anyway, this is what I think the translation is. And it's in poetry. Everyone okay if I do this? Just too late. You can log out if you don't like it. Thanks for playing. It's called Oh, the Places You'll Go by Vidya Seuss. Yeah, Dr. Seuss. So I want to say to you, congratulations, you're alive, you're on this planet. Today is your day. You have the potential to go to great places if you take it. You're often away. And I felt that way And I think all of you felt that way about your life at some point. Yay, I can move to New York, be successful. So this is my family. This is the blessing of my grandpa, my dad. Can you tell what I'm going to look like in a few years? My mom, holy mom, all of them are no longer in this life, right? And I'm this guy going, hey, do you understand the Dharma yet? You see the guy there going, I want to talk to you about life. My sister's shielding my little brother, and my other sister's being weird. She's always been weird. No, she's just sitting there smiling. So this is our family, and you probably belong to a family. You probably got a mum and dad or had a mum and dad. But congratulations, you made it to the human realm. You're off and away. And you probably landed in a good part of the human realm if you can afford to sit your ass down in a meditation studio with a bunch of other people who are sweet. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. And at some point you're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy or the gal or the thing that decides where to go. And I hope that you felt that way. I know in Australia, so my parents moved me from Argentina to Australia, and I felt this. I don't have to do what people tell me to do. I was born in that town. Now I'm choosing, you know. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. To me, that says you have a mind that can experience things, and then you have this capacity to put that into action. So you have, for the Buddhist nerds, you have wisdom, and you have the capacity to do something with that wisdom, move the body, plant some karma. You've got a mind and a body, use them. You decide where to go. Don't let the inertia decide for you. And then I had a bunch of fears growing up in Australia. I didn't look like all the Australians. You know, everyone's blonde, blue-eyed surfer. You've heard me say this 1,000 times. And so the path was set. In the Western system, it's set. You have to go to university. You have to get a degree. Decide what career you want. Now, come on, you're a teenager. Decide your career. It's so dumb, right? Decide your career. And then you decide where to go. But are you going to be an architect? You know, and are you going to study for all these years? And for me, I rebelled against that. Thank goodness for rebellion, right? You look up and down streets. Am I taking this course or that course? Look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't wish to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And I wish I was smart, but I wasn't. I was afraid. I didn't want to go to university because I didn't think I could study. I had bad English. I couldn't speak properly. I was a migrant kid. And so why would I go to university? Nobody in my family went to university. My parents barely did high school, let alone finish it. So I couldn't do that. So I'm like, no, I'm too smart for university. I needed real education, you know. And you may not find any you wish to go down. In that case, of course, you'll hate straight out of town, which I did, because it's opener there in the wide open air. So I traveled. I went, not doing university, I'm going to New Zealand, and then I'm doing the United States, and then I'm traveling through South America, as many countries as possible, Europe and Asia, and back to Australia within a year. I'm going to see what other humans do with this life. What the hell put that in my head? I don't know. But the impulse was fear. I was afraid to look stupid at university. And what a blessing for me, because it bumped me into New York. And it was the last place I didn't want to come to New York. So I went. That was me traveling the world. That's what I looked like. I had hairy legs. They're not that hairy no more. That's what happens. But it's opener there. If you give yourself a chance and you go and explore things that you didn't think you could, you'll find possibilities. Of course, it's a metaphor for what's in your mind if you're a Buddhist. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and as footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along. You'll start happening too. For me, this fervor for a meaningful life started popping up. Seeing so much suffering as you travel, and everybody just looked different in different clothes. This is before H&M appeared everywhere, right? Like everyone actually had different cultures. And then you see the possibilities. And I tried. This is just before meeting Buddhism. Something gave me, like meeting all these people that I loved and hated, envied, and did all the human things, gave me a kind of insight that maybe I could be like him, and maybe I could be like her. Maybe I'm not going to be like her. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not going to be like them. And it gave me possibilities, you know? And then I thought, oh, the places you'll go. Hector, you could go anywhere. This is the inside of my mind. Yeah. And I think it's around there where I'd say I met Three Jewels. I know the first set of coincidences that drove me to Three Jewels was finding a mala on Fifth Avenue. I was in New York and I was walking around and I found one of these Tibetan malas on the road and I picked it up. And then I continued on my trip and I carried it through my trip. And I was on my way up. I'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. And I followed two girls that were my favorite friends at Three Jewels, Aura and Elizabeth. And I was so in love with them, but then I was gay, and then I was in love with them, and then I was gay, and then it was very confusing. But something alluring about them made me want to come back and hang around Three Jewels. Yeah, and there's the mala that I found. I only got a couple of pictures with them, with that mala around me. It was my first, it was one of my most precious finds. It was like, this is ancient, this is special. And when I met Geshe Michael, my teacher, and I really got that feeling after all the resistance, it was the first real gift I gave to him. And so I had an opportunity at every one of those turns to choose many different paths, but something was inviting me to choose a certain direction. I had zero control of the choice, I thought. I was just like, oh, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that. Without awareness, really. What impulse to give Geshe Michael this precious thing? I didn't know he was going to become the center of my heart for the rest of my life. The guide that would invite me to choose wisely every time. And I really wanted to be in that hot in crowd with Elizabeth and Aura all around the Buddhists and be that one dude. I wasn't. I felt shunned. I felt like I'm not smart enough to know Tibetan. Not smart enough. And I'm watching Three Jewels grow and all these students come, and at one point we had to get out of Three Jewels and go to the Quaker church on 15th Street because 150 people would come to these classes translating Tibetan into English. But anyway, I'm joining the high flyers and I'm soaring to high heights. And I won't lag behind because you'll have this speed and hopefully you'll pass the whole gang, which I was pretty competitive. Who's going to be the best Buddhist, right? You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to serve better. I'm going to practice Buddhism better than everyone else. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. I'm like, yes, I found something I can excel in. I'm so good. You know, it was so good. Except when you don't. Because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hang up on your prickly perch and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. And for me, when I read this, deep into unraveling my mind in the heart of New York City, this great place that just started sometime before 1996 called Three Jewels. In love with the people that are my friends, Aura and Elizabeth, Ellie and Rob and Like all the way that you feel about each other when you come here. And then my visa expires and I'm illegal in the US and I have to make a decision. Stay illegal, learn the technology from the wake-uppers that says, live a pure life, don't plant any seeds that you would regret later. Don't lie, don't steal, like just basic things. And here I am lying about my very existence in the United States. I'm lying to the government of the place where I found the place where I could learn. And it was incongruent for me to keep lying. So I decided to own up about it. And my hang up was, I'm going to apply for a visa, go to Australia. My lawyer says, no problem, you've got plenty of money, we can fight the lawyers, you'll be back in 2 weeks. I never came back for 9 years. And my gang flew on, and they kept studying, and they kept hanging out at 3 Jewels. And this is before internet, so I had to dial up from Australia and go, hello, can I talk to Gora? They're like, it's 3 a.m, Hector. I'm like, I'll call later. Can I talk to Geshe Michael? He's translating. Nobody will talk to me, except Ellie, which is a nun, her name, Venerable Jigme. She would spend time on the phone with me, and she's like, Hector, your teacher's in your heart. Look in your heart for your teacher. Develop your teacher in your heart. And I had already learned a whole bunch of Buddhist technologies, meditation, placing your mind on something so it grows in your mind, the teacher being the one that can really help you, the one that you are connecting with in your mind. And Ellie's like, connect it with your heart. I'm like, no, he's not in my heart, he's in New York at 3 Jewels, and I'm spending $5 a minute to like I couldn't see it. And then it was just before I left that they were planning the first 3-year retreat. Aura, Elizabeth, Christy, Annie Palma, who was the founder here, Petra, and Geshe Michael. And they went on. All I could do is write them letters, hoping that one day they'll get them. They were going into 3-year retreat, and I thought I'd better do something else about it. So I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. So I'm stuck in Australia, and I'm trying to do my 6 times a day book. Most of you know what that photo is. I'm trying to keep my mind focused on, if the world comes from me, if I make my reality, then it doesn't matter what's happening outside me. I have to use everything to plant just the right courses for a life that I would like to live. And in my mind, at the center of that life was, keep finding wisdom in people teaching you stuff. Keep planting teachings. So I decided to be an organizational trainer, a teacher in the corporate world in Australia, because that way, if I plant teaching seeds, I'm going to meet teachers. I'm going to sneak in some Buddhist wisdom so I can experience teachings with sneaky insights. I'm going to be consistent about it so it doesn't ever stop. I'm going to do it all the time. Because I want to get out of the lurch. And you'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and I did. It was hard to be separated. And the chances are then you'll be left in a slump, and I was. It's called Australia. No. It's called corporate Australia. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. And I invite you to think about your slumps. You're going to have them too. You'll meet your lurchers. And you'll be left in a slump. And really, some blessing in the short time that I learned these technologies taught me that I have to look at the slump as an opportunity and not something damaging. Even if it was damaging. Even if I lost all my friends and my community and I was stuck in the middle of nowhere. Without any meaning, like corporate Australia, what the hell? Boring. I want Buddhism. And I was missing the fact that I could turn this thing into something meaningful if I just acted with my brain, head full of brains and my shoes full of feet. And so I don't know, I think it was Ellie kept saying, it's in your heart, Hector. And then I'm like, damn, they don't care. So I better figure it out myself. So I did. And then you start looking at your own life when you have slumps, when you have difficult situations. After you give up trying to change it out there and finding some savior and no one comes to save, you'll have to take responsibility for what happens in your life. That's the only way you turn into a meaningful life. You have to add the meaning to the mix. It ain't coming from something. This is the essence of Buddhist practice. There's no one out there going to come and save you. And those that will only ever came because you caused them by what you did with your body, speech, and mind, with your kindness, with your wisdom, with your effort. You have to plant it. That's why meditation is a thing. So then when you go in and you realize that and you look at all your problems, you will come to a place where the streets are not marked, where some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And you'll be going through that over and over in your life. You're like, damn, do I do this? Do I have to take responsibility for it all? It's dark in there. I don't want to. And if you go in, should you go left or right? Should I do this practice or that practice? Or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or go around the back and sneak in from behind. Simple, it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker-upper to make up their minds. And all of you are going to have to make up your minds. Do you take charge of your life, or do you keep just riding opportunity after opportunity out there and putting all your hopes in something outside of you? And so the darkest times, and I've had a few, if you dare to look in and you just take a chance and you know the foundation, there is nothing that happens in my reality that isn't in my mind experiencing it. Therefore, get busy planting the most stunning things in your mind, even when things are horrible. Because then when things are good, you can ride that and expand it even more. But you can get so confused that you'll start to race down long-winded roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I'm afraid, to the most useless place. And I know that you've all been here. I thought I'd share the reality with the story. I can't believe that none of you have been to this place, the waiting place. This is me riding corporate life for too long, right? For people are just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the TikTok to strike, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, waiting around for a yes or a no, like you're just giving your power to someone else, or waiting for their hair to grow. I'll still be waiting. Everyone is still waiting, waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for the wind to fly a kite, waiting around for a Friday night, maybe that'll be the day, or waiting perhaps for your Uncle Jake, or the pot to boil, or a better break, or a string with pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. And if you've got a repetitive job, if you've got your habits all nicely formed, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, you can see the rhythms of our society just waiting for something else, and then it's too late. When I did that trip around the world, I got to see how many people spend their entire lives, 5 days a week, 8-9 hours a day, to wash their clothes and iron their things and buy their food on the weekend so they can do it all again Monday to Friday. And you do it 50-something, 40-something weeks a year for 2 weeks or 3 weeks to go on vacation. So you're selling 95% of your time for 5% of your time. And I'm not knocking hard work. I think you need to work. I think we all need to work. But can you imbue that with a meaningful life? And so I decided, okay, I need to pay my own way. I need to make the money. I'm in the waiting place. I'm waiting to go back to New York, because that's where my life will start. So I'm just waiting, and I'm waiting with everyone else. This is what I looked like when I was waiting. I had a tie. But then I began to practice, right? It's like, oh, it's up to me. No one's coming to save. And I began to practice, and I'm like, no, that's not for me. Yeah, all that waiting. Somehow I'll escape all that waiting and staying. I'll find the bright places where the boom bands are playing. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. And I remembered the ACI courses. I'm like, redo them, do them again, go deeper, remember your teacher, and really get to practice. So everything, even the boring job, could have meaning, because it ain't coming from the job. It's got to come from you. And that's the hardest thing, because you're all alone, whether you like it or not. And so with banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. I was so motivated. I'm going to turn this corporate world into bodhisattva activity. I'm secretly doing Buddhism in government strategies for customer service. So service is in the hearts of all these exams. I'm in, and I'm planting seeds. Every opportunity is like secret Buddhist teaching. Yes, planted that seed. Like I'm flip-flapping, yeah? Once more you ride high, ready for anything under the sky, ready because I'm that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There's fun to be done. There are points to be scored. Oh my God, I was scoring points. There are games to be won. And the magical thing you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame, you'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole world wide watching you win on IGTV. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. So even when you're studying hard or practicing hard, you're doing the kindest things, things will break. Because sometimes you won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you play against you. You're really going to have to sort of face up to some deeper things if you want to create a meaningful life. Even if you fix it all out there, you're still going to have to look at you. The old habits, the old frames, the old way of doing things. Even your own identity. I'm just this kind of person. It's not true. You're not just this kind of person. This kind of person is because you made them that way. You can unmake them and you can make them differently. That's the essence of Wake Up as practice. Wake up to everything up for transformation. But still, you're going to have to go and look in there, and all alone, whether you like it or not, all alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. And this is the thing, when you get to places in your life that are difficult, even as a good practitioner, even as a good meditator, even as someone that's got the insight that understands, hold on, whatever I do with my body and mind plants seeds in my mind, impressions through which I frame all of my future reality. Even when you have it clear and you're trying, it'll feel sometimes like you're moving in honey, like you're not getting the results you want to. And to me, this is one of the most fundamental moments. You'll get tested about your own belief system. And if you choose a meaningful life, to add meaning to that on purpose, to apply what you've learned about the nature of you and the nature of the world, you will want to go on you will go. Though the weather be foul, and on you will go, though the enemies prowl, and on you will go, though the hack and cracks howl, so onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. And the reason I put this picture is because everything was going for me. I was making all the money I wanted. I was buying 3 houses. I'm a good Buddhist practitioner, and something wasn't working. Something was missing. I had all the outer things, and I'm like, but I created them. I should feel happy. But I still had stuff to unravel. And for me, it was, it had played itself out in my relationships. I could have relationships that were easy to escape. Relationships where I would feel unworthy. And then along this time, I met a person who smashed all of those ideas. And I felt worthy, and I felt lovable, and it felt like magic. The story is magic. Like literally out of this world magic. And my mind was doing things, and my heart was doing things I didn't think was possible. And I was believing it, I'm lovable. And then he sends me a text saying, sorry, I lied to you. You're not lovable. I was cheating on my partner. I just thought you'd be a this or that. Anyway, it destroyed my heart completely. Crushed it like an elephant crushing a house of reeds. And oh my God, my heart was broken. So broken. But then all the inertia of all the previous years, of the insight that my mind has power beyond getting lost in appearances. Whatever I do next, with my head full of brains and my shoes full of feet, will steer me down not any more not so good streets, the streets I want. And so I grabbed my shitty work shoes. These are my shitty work shoes. And I said, I'm never going to work in the same state of mind, that complacent. I got the houses and I got the thing and I'm gonna live a purposeful life every step of the way. And I'm not gonna buy the idea that I'm not lovable and not worthy of love. Because for a few months I believed I was. And I lived like I was. And it tasted like I was. So I have that capacity. My mind knows what that's like. Screw reality, I'm creating my new reality. And so I grabbed red paint and white paint and I paint these shoes. And I'm like, made these two essences, and it's got a bunch of secret meanings in Buddhism. And I painted my work shoes. And then every corporate meeting I went to with my tie had these like painter's shoes. And everyone's like, what the hell has happened to your shoes? I'm like, oh, I spilt paint on them. And it was my secret sign that wherever my feet stepped, I'm putting meaning there. And I didn't care how embarrassing or how big the meeting was. I was wearing these shitty shoes. Every time I looked at them, I was a little embarrassed. I'm like, oh, like I'm at the head office of the 4th largest bank in Australia with like white tie, and I'm wearing these shoes with my suit. Proudly in my inside. I'm like apologetic outside, proudly inside. It's reminding me, however I step in this moment plants my reality for the future. You're lovable. You have wisdom in your heart. You can create a meaningful life. And then I went backpacking and I wore them in the Himalayas. And I never took these shoes off for years, thinking that love that was in my heart, and I believed it, it's still there if I can just keep growing it. Whilst I do all my other, get back to New York one day and study insight and be a Buddhist practitioner, meditate every day, and all the things. So on you will go. And you'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with as many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step, to step with great care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And I think all those years of believing and planting in my mind the possibility that you could be in love with someone so special, then you get to meet them. This is Stephen, who's over there. Oh no, he's not, he left. Anyway. And then meeting this creature, Stephen. I didn't think I could love like I loved the previous person. And then this wild thing pops up in my life. And he's like, let's do this Buddhism thing together. I'm like, damn. Like, it's like magic with magic dust on it for me. I know some of you don't like Stephen, but no. So you will succeed. You will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Okay? You can move mountains, really. Like, you have to have the mental certainty that what you do has a consequence. That even if life is tragic, what you do in response has consequence. And if you live by that, if you understand the mechanics of that, which is this karma and emptiness thing we teach here, that's just the foundation. You then got to do something with it. And where do you do it? With all the mishaps that happen. And with all the loveliness that happens. And it's not that you're moving mountains out there. The mountains are in here. This world is in your heart. And so it doesn't matter whether your name is Baxam or Brixie or Bray or Mordecai, Alevine, Alan O'Shea, or you're off to great places if you know how to do it. Today, every day, is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. And then eventually I came back to New York to study, and the gift that I got coming back after 9 years of being away, besides meeting Stephen and 10 years serving in Nepal and studying here again, eventually I get this message saying, hey, can you please take care of this place? Can you help it grow? And every one of those steps with those shitty shoes turned into the people you see here, and the ones that laid down the floor and painted the walls and teach the classes here, and the funny neighbors we get to meet. And you in a class, and your hopes in your heart, and the spark of possibility in your minds that maybe my life can turn to a meaningful thing. And it's not just for me, but for others too. And a connection arises between what you thought was possible and what begins to happen. And all you need is one or two bits of evidence. And then you've got to walk those shoes for you. And I hope you do. For me, meeting you, getting to teach here, like the connections we have at meditation teacher training, every time we do that, that's 10 weeks of an immersion of minds coming together, understanding where is this world coming from? Can I reach a state of peace, real peace, inside here, regardless of the distractions outside? Can I find that? And in every teacher training and in every class here, people see that hope as a real possibility. And I never saw that at work for people. I never saw it in the 10 years working in Australia in the corporate world. Not once did I see the belief in magic. I saw a misguided belief that if I do enough weed, I'm going to be okay. Or, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but if I do this other thing, something outside of me is going to help me. I didn't see the solid understanding that the thing you've got going when you come to a class and you see the possibility that your mind can have this rapture, this ecstatic state of being that you've tasted and you hoped for, but to believe it as a possibility with logic and reasoning and study, and then to have companions on your path, on your way, other people you study with, and you discuss these things that you can't study somewhere else. You can't talk to others. I can't imagine a more meaningful life. Like, I'm so blessed. And I wish I could shorten the time that it takes for it to get into you. I don't know the dark places you'll have to go. They're yours. And I know you've got them. And no one's coming to save. Except the seeds you planted where you helped others before when you were in a good place. And to me, that's the real magic of the community that's built here at Three Jewels. The mini communities we built in the teacher trainings. You love each other. They're strangers. You didn't know each other. You're supposed to be jealous of each other. You're supposed to have envy for each other. It's this real connection happen when you see the possibility. And sure, you have to tame your mind sometimes, because you'll bring that garbage in here too. I did. Jealous that I wasn't Aura and I couldn't go on retreat. Jealous that I wasn't Elizabeth and could hang around the teacher. Jealous between Christy, who was like loudmouth and always got a favorite response from everyone, and I didn't. You still bring that garbage to, but if you have just the awareness of what the hell your mind is doing, that's enough to want to investigate it, understand it, and change it. And change it in the direction you want. Because you will succeed. 98.75% guaranteed until you see emptiness directly, and then it's 100%. I think that's my story. Thank you for letting me share with you the Vidya Sutra. Vidya means doctor. Sus, I don't know how to write that. Thanks, Earl, for that really awesome translation. And honestly, if anyone has questions or comments, I am more than happy to answer them. And if you don't, then I'm happy for you to sing me happy birthday. No. Or maybe just a gift that I would love is something special that happened to you at 3 Jewels on the comment. Something nice that you felt in this community in the comments. And that would really fill my heart today. My hope is that each of you get a sense of what I see when I look at you here. That there's 65 in online, and I don't know, more than enough for the COVID restriction to be broken in studio. 40? Yeah, so like 106. Can we go and get 2 more so we can make it 108?
Really?
No. Come on. No.
Always 108. I have one comment. You're my favorite.
Oh, thank you. I wish I could say the same. Only kidding. Yeah. Someone want to be the voice of reading out the comments? Someone wants to read them out? And I just invite you to share something nice that happened to you at 3 Jewels. I don't know if you can see them. Can you?
Want to read them out?
Yeah. So out loud so they can hear you. Because I can't see them.
I met you, Hector. 3 Jewels truly opened my heart, and I learned how to love people in a genuine way. I found love, purpose, and community, and I met angels. I found loving people, support, friendship, and magic. I found unwavering love and support. I came to a yoga class and found my teacher, Brandy.
Yes.
Thank you, Hector. You're a blessing. I found love, family, laughter, and bad dad jokes.
That's me.
You helped me plant good seeds for my grandpa, Variantes, as he was transitioning. Best gift
Blessings.
of my life.
Yeah, blessings.
Happy birthday, Hector. Thank you for 3 Jewels. XO. I found a reconnection with all the love I've had and continue to have in my love. A beautiful new community. Thank you. So much love. A happy new year to you. Finding bliss and forgiveness and meeting you and the community. Realizations on realizations.
Yeah.
Acceptance, kindness, care, and everyone here is hot.
Everyone here is hot. Put the AC on.
Inspired and hopeful that my life can change. Amazing community. Taking my vows, finding a sangha, a way out, a way to true liberation.
Nice.
Met my heart teacher and experience unconditional love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you for this family you give us, Hector. You are light, you are smiles, you are love.
Thank you,
I'm
thank you.
glad I came to NYC to know 3 Jewels. This is home.
Oh,
I found you.
Missy, I see you. That's awesome. Sorry.
Making my heart squishier and squished. Learning to love better. Love you. Happy birthday. I learned happiness.
Was that spelled correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Mary Chrysler.
Mary Chrysler, whoever said the fan Santi probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned to create emptiness. It's nice to see me again.
It's nice to see me too.
It feels impossible to sum up how my life has changed after meeting you and hearing you teach endless gratitude. Real hugs.
Thank you.
108 with Helena and Sion. Finding you and learning that it is a superpower to be kind and love fiercely. Happy birthday, Hector. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and love.
Thank you.
I feel worthy for meeting you, Hector. I must have done something right in my life to accumulate enough good karma that led me to you. Happy birthday. I connected with so many beautiful humans.
Sorry, but thank
with
you.
a potential I didn't know was within me. Thank you, Hector. Taught me how to crawl out of a dark place and how to stay out. Love you and 3 jewels forever grateful. And the magic of dulce de leche and flan.
That's the thing.
Sí!
Dulce de leche and flan.
Sí! Tú sabes! Breaking my walls, opening my heart, and finding family in a magical place. I went to dinner with some of the lovely people from 3 Jewels after my first Dharma class with Hector in person. It was such a beautiful night hearing a great Dharma talk and connecting with this beautiful community. Happy birthday and thank you.
Oh, so I can't see.
Nice.
Do it.
You prepared my mind for the best.
I'm Supriya, and I'm already. Let's say it. Oh, that's a, thank you, everyone. Very, very kind. Last thing I want to know: if you've been depressed, I see you. If you've been hurt, I see you. If you've been sad for a long time, I see you. I've been you. If you have hope, I see you. If you have disbelief, I see you. Still see you. I'm seeing you right now. That one is hard for me to unsee. If you're a sarcastic questioner, I see you. I am you. If you're afraid of goodness, I see you. If you think time's running out, I see you. And if you've got kindness, I see you. If you're trying hard all the time, I see you. If you're working your ass off to try and make it work, I see you. And I can't unsee you. I can only see you from all those things that I've done too, felt too. Just like you. So if you heard some hope tonight, or in any of these classes, or in any of the last 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 3 weeks, 1 day, that you've been surrounded by people that see possibility where there is hatred, see hope where there is harm, and can just look beyond it, then train yourself, train your mind, get to know your mind. Meditate, like really meditate, not Instagram meditate, like learn about meditation, to bring your attention to the real place where you really feel, experience and live your realities, which is in here. Buddhists are amazing at that technology, but you also get lost in Buddhism being a Buddhist. Don't do that. Don't be the Buddhist. Be the real person that can work their mind. Buddhists have a ton of technology to make that work. I firmly believe we're onto something at 3 Jewels. And I know it sounds weird, culty, strange, like we're the Messiah. We're not. You're the Messiah. There's books here where you can see yourself become the Messiah. There's no Messiah in here. There's a mess, all right, but there's no Messiah. Monty Python joke. No one's laughing. Favorite moment. Dad joke. Really, there's no limit to to what your mind can experience. And yet we're stuck in this tiny loop of human. And I've been blessed to see the possibility, and I'm nowhere near the results that it can achieve, but I've had enough epiphanies in my slow resistance to Buddhism to be able to say, for me, with certainty, with earnest certainty, there's nowhere else to work but you. And what's the thing we work with? Your interaction with everything. What makes it faster? Leaning into the difficult things. So they don't have you, you have them. You're like, oh, I'll work with that. And so I've worked with near-death experience. My breath nearly finished. I had to jab, not an epidural, what's it called? I gave birth. No. Someone put the wrong thing and then I had a baby. No. What is it? EpiPen. Yeah, they had to like shove this to unlock my throat. I had like minutes before I would have choked. I got myself to a hospital. I did that so still. I'm like, okay, if it goes right now, my mind is good. I would have freaked out 10 years earlier. I would have been in panic mode. You know the story of being by my mum's bedside when she was passing. My sister's flipping out, the doctor's looking out, like quick. My mind's steady on, I know exactly what to do to help my mind's mind do just the right thing as it does this thing. And I moved her mind. And I don't mean like magic, I mean like inviting her to bring a certain memory up, to breathe in a certain way and watch her slide through that transition in a meaningful way for her. I was of help to her. It's only because of the training that I've had. And it's not like just my teacher, although thank you to my teachers for igniting some wish for me to practice. But most of the learning I've done is having to answer your bloody questions. I'm like, damn, I haven't thought about that. And you've opened up my mind to things that I didn't have direct experience with and realities I didn't see. The magic of being a teacher, of wanting to help other people teach what you know, which you all should do. Teach others what you know. The magic of that is the students become your teacher. They open up things in you that you didn't think were possible things. And you see real compassion when you see suffering that you will never face. And then your wish is, I need to help them for real. So that's, in a way, your gift to me. Both my experience of you is caused by all the effort I've made through the difficult and good times in my past. But at the same time, you are a gift in my life. And hopefully I can give you part of that back while I'm here. So thank you for you creating 3 Jewels. I want to celebrate everybody that's put any time of their life into 3 Jewels. My partner Stephen, Rachel, the board of 3 Jewels, or the teachers of 3 Jewels, the management group, the deep practitioners who took vows, say, I promise to not be a shithead and be a good person, Buddhist for refuge and bodhisattva vows. And for you who keep coming to say, there's something here. I hope that you find a meaningful moment in your next terrible moment and in your next awesome moment. You're like, oh, I've got some power that I didn't know I had. And I hope you find friends in this community. And that's the end of my story. I want to thank you, Kawan, Rosie, Renata. Thanks, Deirdre, for coming. And Birdie, Sam, JJ and Baby. Is Baby fed and sleeping?
Baby's fed and baby's sleeping now.
Looks like we're doing happy birthday. Who did that? Thank you. And in studio, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you for coming. And sorry that you're not invited, but there's pizza outside. Yeah, let's have food. Thank Elizabeth Leonard Hi, Liza. Thank you, Hannibal. Thank you, Forwa, Shalimar, Chrissy, Elizabeth. So nice to see you here. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much, Christina. Bye, Chloe. Bye, Roy. Good night, everyone. We're going to go eat now. Oh, Sarah and team. Thank you, Carlotta, Francesca. I love you. Where's Rockland? Sleeping? Okay. Good night. Thank you. Bye, Emma. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, Hannibal. Bye.